Hey, what's happening, everyone? It's the Wardian for Tan 1 to review side Tan Tiger 01, the Big Old Dragon. Make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, follow me on Twitter, Tan Tiger 01. Right, I'm giving you an early Impact review right now because I'm not too sure where I'm going to be for the next few days. Because right now I'm here in Melbourne, Florida, and depending on what trajectory Hurricane Irma and and maybe even Hurricane Jose take, I might actually have to evacuate. If not, at least I think I will lose power for some time. I don't know how long. If I end up staying, if Hurricane Irma doesn't doesn't end up actually hitting Melbourne proper, but just like drift, just drift along in the water or some shit. Right. So, to anyone out there, I hope you're safe. If you're not, I hope, no, like, if the hurricane hasn't hit you already, I hope you get to a safe location, you and your loved ones, and hopefully, like, hopefully, the hurricane will not affect you that badly. Just stay safe. You know, you and your family, wife, kids, or even if you're alone, just follow the orders. It's a little bit of inconvenience, especially if you're living uh, uh, if you're living in areas like like Florida. That's it's just part of the course, or like part of the parcel, if you will. Okay, that out the way. Before I start this impact review, there are a few things I have to get off my chest. First of all, Matt Hardy released a video on his channel. Uh, Dumbass 39-second clip thing of feed him power, so some bullshit. I don't know. Maybe he goes into a feud with Bray Wyatt, the Eater of Worlds, or some bullshit. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck he's on about. But notice the three key words associated with the broken gimmick, individual words: delete, obsolete, and broken. None of them were used. Furthermore, his trademark lines of "I knew you'd come," none of them were used. And on top of that, Matt Hardy usually accompanies all his YouTube videos usually with a piano, a weird piano rendition of Jeff Hardy's song called "Obsolete." Not used. To me, at least as it stands right, this can change, but as it stands right now, this is basically Matt Hardy admitting that he's gonna use another gimmick. He's not gonna. He's not gonna use the broken gimmick because he can't. You could say he's powerless. Okay. Finally, third thing. I heard those rumors as well. Sports Illustrated saying GFW is gonna be sold and all that bullshit. See, and you know what? Shout out to BQ from King of the Mountain podcast, KOTM podcast. Shout out to you, homie. Pointed with something very important. Notice that all these bad news usually they're either released either on Tuesday or Wednesday. Usually, they're just before an Impact show. So that's one of the reasons I take all of these with a grain of salt. So even the Sports Illustrated thing, what ended up happening? If I'm not mistaken, Mike Johnson ended up apologizing for that remark. that GFW is being sold and the tape library is being sold to WWE whatnot. I don't know who the pressure came from, but yeah, PW Insider, your credibility took a hit. Sorry, your credibility, your clickbait credibility took a hit. I know we're in this era right now, and believe me, it pisses me the fuck off. We're in this era right now where a lot of thing is clickbait, and like they will try and over sensationalize a lot of rumors and exaggerate it to the point where they'll make you believe that it's the truth. And it's gotten to the point where it's gone into a lot of people who make like it influences a lot of people who who make policies, and they overlook a lot of objectivity, if you will, a lot of objective elements. It pisses me the fuck off. But yeah, the way to like, at least for me, the way to counter this is look at the entire story. Especially when something becomes this obvious that they're trying to over sensationalize something like this. Just usually take it with a grain of salt, and this will come through experience. But through experience, just try and notice if there's anything fishy about what's going on. Because if I'm not mistaken, how many times has PW Insider said Impact's gonna close? How many times? Over the past 4 or 5 years, how many times have they said Impact Wrestling's gonna close? Yet their doors are getting more and more open, it seems, with the announcement of the GW, no, the GWN and Pluto TV deal and whatnot. So shout out to everyone who took this with a grain of salt, and shout out to Kevin Sullivan. Now, this is based on what I know right now. Obviously, a lot of things can change, like as more stuff comes out. But once again, people like Dave Meltzer, people like PW Insider, their credibility with news regarding Impact Wrestling is not good, and that goes to the dick juggler, the jumbo douchebag JD from New York as well. And to an extent, it goes to Joe Cronin as well. I've seen that video. I've seen the video, where you address this. The fact that you were so confused that you did not know what was going on. You don't see this trend with 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 all these PW inside and whatnot. They 95% of the time they only post negative things about Impact Wrestling. All Not 95, 99% of the time, negative things about Impact Wrestling. They're trying to fuel this narrative that hating Impact Wrestling is cool. No, hating Impact Wrestling is not cool. Hating Impact Wrestling is dumb and is sheepish. There's some people who don't like it and who just like New Japan. Okay, I get that, but who just say like anything Impact Wrestling does is horrible. They're sheepish. Absolute. They make they make wrestling fans look horrible. They make wrestling fans look like some of the dumbest people on the planet. Obviously, a lot of people, obviously there are a lot of people who are very well educated, and they got jobs and they got work and all that. Yeah, they would beg to differ, and they're the exceptions. But overall, it doesn't paint a good image of Impact Wrestling. Okay, with that being said, let's jump right into the show from, well, last night, I guess, because it's technically morning. September 7th. So, Eli Drake shown coming into the arena with Chris Adonis, and next Matt Sydal was shown. Okay, so we start the show, and it starts off with the match. Trevor Lee and Caleb Conley sorry, versus Sanjay Dutt and Petey Williams. So my highlights of the match: Dutt's Hurricane Rana and arm drag. Petey's a tilt-a-world Russian leg sweep. His bulldog onto Caleb onto Trevor Lee. Dutt his assisted standing Shiranui. Petey Williams his old Canada Tree of Woe spot. A bit nostalgic for me. Lee's Tree of Woe German suplex. Lee's huge Beal, because when Trevor Lee does it, I call it a huge Beal because he goes for the Beal and he dives with it. Love that spot. Okay, Dutt's Shiranui DDT. You know what? Because a tornado DDT is when you go like sideways. You go round sideways. What Dutt does is he goes vertically backwards, and and turns that into a regular DDT. So I'll call that Shiranui DDT. Conley's bridging German suplex. Dutt's DDT. PD hits the Canadian Destroyer on Conley, and Dutt hits the splash for 3 count. It's actually pretty decent, to start. Okay, go to break, come back. LX come out versus 2 jobbers, and OV was shown watching backstage. LX it basically hit a hangman and a running boot. And they had a double team buckle power slam and hit the LX hit the street sweeper for for the squash win. So I like that LX were given a squash match. So OV comes out, white shirt dude and black shirt dude. Okay. White shirt dude says LX claim to be family, but the OV are brothers. And says basically says that LX, you are the best in this company. Well, we are the best in the world. And they'll prove it by taking the GFW titles. Okay, now, guys, Konen had a good night on the mic, dog. Konen says, I don't know. Wait. First of all, I don't know who the fuck you think you're. What they call you, ovaries or some shit? Yeah, well, that name is pretty apt because you look like a bunch of, he stopped himself. And says, my point being, I don't know what meth lab you crawled out of, but LAX dictate the terms. And says, you want this title? Why don't you get your ass to Tijuana, to the Crash promotion and take the titles off LAX. OV basically ends up accepting. Alright, so we have OVE going over to Crash for the GFW title. You know what? I don't mind this. If you're gonna get inter-promotional title matches, I don't mind this, right? I don't mind this actually. Okay, go to break. Come back. Knockouts tag team match. Tantrell and Sienna versus Alli and Gail Kim. So Kim came out with Sienna and Sutter came out with Alli. So the highlights were my match with Kim's clothesline, inverted DDT. Sienna drapes Gail Kim wheelbarrow style on the ropes. Sienna's a flapjack. Tells running neck breaker. Meh. Kim hits the Hurricane Rana. Alli's clotheslines. Alli's the code breaker. Alli hits the meh sliced bread because let's just say she didn't float over right. She just snapped into it. Here's the thing with the sliced bread. Your rotation should be you should not have a snap to a rotation. Have you if you've seen like a power guy a vertical suplex, he'll pick him up in the air and You'll not stay delayed with it. I'm not talking about a delayed suplex. I'm talking about a regulation suplex. He will stay a little time in the air as he slows the rotation while he brings him down. A good Shiranui is basically the same thing. While you go in the air, you sort of slow down your rotation a little bit, and then while you come down, like you come down full force. It has to do with body control. Okay, Sutter and KM fight to the back, but Alli hits a cross body block, but Sienna rolls through and gets a 3 count for the win. Good finish. Decent enough match, I guess. Sienna and Terrell beat down Kim and Alli, and Rosemary comes out, clotheslines on heels, and she actually came up to a thunderous pop. But the both end up overwhelming Rosemary because Kim and Alli were taken out. They're out of the ring, and Taya Valkyrie comes out. With this all this grand entrance and all that, like cape and everything, cape and like I think a tearaway a costume and everything. Comes out to a grandish theme music as well. But Taya Valkyrie enters the ring and ends up clotheslining Rosemary. So we're gonna get a 6-woman tag match, I presume. And she hit something like a face plant or a power bomb. So this segment, it was actually pretty good, and I give it a plus 0.25 for Rosemary being there. Okay, next we get to we get to video package galore. Start with an Eli Drake video package. It was nicely done. Go to break, come back. Jim Cornette comes out. He predicts that Seidel will win the title from Drake. Johnny Impact comes out and says he wants a winner of Seidel versus Drake. Johnny says he respects Seidel but not Drake. LAX comes out. This time with Loki. Okay. Now Konen says he doesn't know what kind of white privilege is going on when this bathhouse honey gets a title shot and Loki's overlooked. Love Konen, you're the fucking man, dude. Konen says he didn't overlook anybody, and says even Johnny will have to wait his turn, and says no one gets overlooked or no one gets any favors. Loki says he earned it. He earned a title shot. Johnny Impact just showed up. Keith says this ain't WWE or Lucha Underground. This is GFW. This is Global Force fucking wrestling. Obviously, they had to cut out the fucking wrestling. Johnny starts fighting and gets outnumbered. Security break them up. They push aside security, and one guard gets punched by either Santana or Ortiz. LX beat down Johnny again, and Cornette asks all of LX to leave or they get suspended. Good segment. It builds up for something. Good segment. Go to break, come back. So we go backstage. Now Cornette was furious, and he said next week there's going to be a number 1 contendership match between Johnny Impact and Loki, and the winner will face the winner of Eli Drake and Matt Seidel, and he hopes those two kill each other or something like that. Next, Joey Parks and Grado's segment was recapped that LVN is Canadian. Parks says that LVN is Canadian and this won't solve his problem. And says Grado should tell LVN the truth. So Grado runs into LVN, which looked like a parking lot, hugged LVN. Like, hey, Laurel, how you doing? Hey, Laurel, how you doing? Oh, it's great to see you. Oh, I have some bad news. The wedding's off. Yeah. The wedding's off, yeah? And Alvin asks, why? And Grado says, look, Lass, it's not you, it's me. It's nothing wrong with you, but it's me. He does, and it abruptly does not explain anymore. And asks her to be happy, like, not to cry. Okay, then Elvian looks at the into the camera and, like, they indicate that she's going crazy inside. Elvian says, no, I'm fine. And Grado ends up high fiving Elvian. Okay, Grado walks away and Elvian acts mad again. Guys, how many of you, when you saw this, how many of you, the first thing that came to mind, broken LVN? How many of you, got this idea in your mind? Broken LVN. Because listen, it's pretty obvious that Matt Hardy was not you can say the only person creatively behind the broken gimmick. There were like 6 to 7 other people who had smaller inputs and larger inputs. And what I like to believe, one of the more significant people to provide inputs was Jeremy Borash, and perhaps to an extent also Chris Parks, well, who's playing Joey Parks right now. But yeah, with that creative team, with the capabilities of that creative team, I wouldn't be surprised if they pull off this thing very well. If they pull off this broken gimmick if they end up giving the broken gimmick to LVN, I wouldn't be surprised if it comes off very well. And as to people who's gonna hate on Impact, fuck all of them. Fuck all of them. Okay. But what they cannot do, absolutely cannot do, is turn Grado and Joseph Parks gay and like make them have a gay wedding. No. I'm sorry. Pro wrestling is for a certain demographic. If you have it at a soap opera or something, like something like Friends or whatnot, no problem. Not in pro wrestling. Because listen, we are already horrified by Brizango saying that one of the guys loves getting anal probes, plural, by aliens, and another, and the New Day, whatever the fuck they are, the faggot extravaganza that they are. We don't need that in Impact Wrestling. Good Lord, something in 2017. There's Damian Sandow. He had a gay ass gimmick. Thank God that's over. We don't need another one. But anyways, I'm looking forward to where they go from here, especially with a furious LVN. So I am very positive for this. Very positive. Next. So the GFW talents highlight with Triple Mania was shown. A lot of people there. Bobby Lashley, Moose, DJ Z. I think Matt Sydal was there. Johnny Impact was there. There's a good song used as well. And Rosemary was there. So Lashley was shown being put in another gauntlet match, and Moose ended up eliminating Bobby Lashley. Lashley said he has a fight in December coming up. He has a fight in December? Dude, I want to know who his opponent is. Dude, I want to see that. I want to see that fight. I want to see a Bobby Lashley fight. Guys, let me know in the comment section below who's his opponent. If he has a fight scheduled for December, who's his opponent going to be? And Lashley said GFW betrayed him. Well, basically indicated that, and it indicated that maybe he maybe like if this is what how he's gonna be treated in GFW, maybe he should just step away. So no, maybe no, not GFW, wrestling altogether. If that's how they treat him, maybe he should just step away from wrestling. Now, in doing so, I love the fact that he is basically putting over uh, Moose in such a strong way, if you will. Like Bobby Lashley is being involved with Moose, and that's the last going to see of Bobby Lashley at least for a while, if he's stepping away after this episode. Go to break, come back. So we get more clips from Triple Mania. And by the way, I feel this triple A deal is actually pretty sweet. Okay, okay. They show the highlight uh for all three titles because Johnny Impact is a triple crown winner. He holds all three belts at the same time. So it was a three-way ladder match in the main event for Triple Mania, I believe, which was the 25th anniversary show of Triple Mania. So this was actually pretty big one. So Johnny Impact and they showed highlights and whatnot, and Johnny Impact ended up winning the main event. And Johnny said basically the GFW title is his. Go to break, come back. Another video package, but this one highlighted the Rosemary and Sexy Star incident where Sexy Star had Rosemary in a Jujikatami and supposedly broke her arm. There's an argument shown backstage between La Parca and Jeff Jarrett, who was in his tights. He was in his wrestling tights. But JB said overall the AAA GFW relationship will continue, and Jarrett reinforces this notion. Next, another video package. Desmond Xavier video package shown, and says he's focused on the X title. Good enough, I guess. Next, there's the debut vignette shown, so we get a big block where there's a void of wrestling. Eddie Edwards was shown winning the if I can spit it out, GHC world title in Pro Wrestling Noah, being the first American to do that. So, congrats to him. So, does this mean that a Japanese wins or a Mexican wins an outside Impact Wrestling star, person wins an Impact Wrestling title soon? Please not Eli Drake. Please not Eli Drake. I'll go to break. Back. So Garza Jr. gets a video package. But Garza Jr. gets the video package. Maybe he's gonna get a big singles push. And on top of that, given GFW's sort of I would say this, domestic and extended roster. Extended roster includes all those people who are coming in and going out on a short-term basis. Should GFW have an international title belt? And by the way, what happened to the Impact Grand Championship? Wasn't EC3 supposed to defend that against Phantasma? Okay, but I'm looking forward to the Garza Jr. push, by the way. Next. Backstage, Richard Justice shown was, he was really hurting and he was doing his squats. Mackenzie Mitchell asked, what are they doing? And Richard Justice says, yes, I'm hurting, but, I don't want to let go of the opportunity, so I'm just the standby wrestler. So next we get the main event video package. So we get to a main event. Global Championship match. Matt Sydal versus Eli Drake. With Chris Adonis, the dummy, yeah. Okay, my highlights. The dummy, yeah chant. The like emphatic dummy, yeah chants. Love it. Eli Drake's clothesline. Sydal's arm drags. His leg kick and basement drop kick. Sydal's Mahi straw cradle. Eli suplex. Seidel spinning wheel kick. Seidel's, I would say arm. Yeah, it was like an arm wringer. Yeah. Seidel suicide dive to Adonis. Eli Drake hits a pop up sit out power slam. Go to break. Come back. Eli, and I like this, little bit of heel psychology that he was showing the chair. Then he'll bring a chair, and the referee thought, and then he tossed it aside. That he was just kidding. Eli Drake's power slam and Eli Drake elbow drop. Seidel counters Drake's suplex attempt with the pin attempt. Eli Drake's jumping neck breaker. Seidel's neck breaker. Seidel suplex. His jumping back kick. Standing moonsault. I kind of like his moonsault. Like, at the last moment he just like, goes into a high gear and puts a lot of torque in the rotation. Seidel's canvas to top rope Hurricane Rana. Seidel's Meteora from the top rope. Seidel's jumping knee to counter Eli Drake's chair shot attempt. But Seidel goes in the top rope. Chris Adonis distracts the referee. Eli Drake hits Seidel with the global title and hits the running back to belly driver, which is called the gravy train, for the 3 count and the win. So, you know what? This is actually a pretty decent match. It was a pretty good showing by Matt Seidel. And I like what Eli Drake has shown as well. And I've noticed that the men in the audience, they are behind Eli Drake. Or if the sounds are not edited in, the women and children in the audience, if the sounds are not edited in, the women and children in the audience, they seem to not like Eli Drake. But the men in the audience seem to like Eli Drake. And if Eli Drake keeps getting more and more support, I think Eli Drake, he can be very over as a very as a very likable babyface, if you will, who everyone can get behind. So overall, match is pretty good. But overall, the show is pretty good, I guess. So I give it 6.75 out of 10. But plus the 0.25 Rosemary bonus, I give it a 7 out of 10. And that's about it. Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. As always, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter at TanTarget01. And if you've subscribed already, hit that bell notification button. Alright, and hopefully everyone will stay safe. This is the MC Tammonth on Reside signing out. And I will see you on the other side of Hurricane Irma.